Hello everyone. Next module we are looking on the empathy and user research in IoT solution. Here, what is the meaning of empathy and how to perform the user research in any kind of solution or specifically in the IoT solutions. Here, you have learning these four things from the empathy and user research in IoT solution from this module. One is the developer user personas and scenarios for the IoT application. Analyze user research findings to identify the pattern and pain points, and apply various user research methods to gather insight about user needs, and define the concept of empathy in the concept of IoT solution design. So these are the key learnings from these modules. Now you have to understand what is the empathy. Empathy means it is ability to understand and share the feelings of others. So here is sympathy. You have to understand, you know the meaning of sympathy. When you feel compassion or sadness for the someone's situation. Here, pity, the places the observer in a position of superiority when feeling bad for another person. Here, empathy, see, here we are talking about sympathy and also empathy. You must have to understand the conditions of empathy and sympathy. Here, you feel the compassion. Here, empathy means you have to get a deeper connection with the users to understand their problem. Then, accordingly, you can able to give the solutions. Here, empathy in design thinking, it plays a significant role. One is you have to get a fuel insight of the problem and ensure the solutions are human centered. You know the human centered means it is called as a user centric solution, which is seen in the previous module. And again, it deals with the cognitive empathy. Cognitive empathy means you have to understand the someone's thoughts and emotions, allowing the designers to see from the user perspective. For example, if anybody is coming with a problem towards me, I have to think on their shoes and I have to feel the same thing from the user perspective. Then only I can able to design the things for their problems. Next, emotional empathy. Emotional empathy means the feeling what a users feel to understand and move behind from knowing to experiencing. So there is another way to connect with the users to understand through the emotional also. Here, there are the three pillars of empathy in design. One is the immersion, actively step into the user's shoes, observation, keen observers and watch the users interact with their environment, understanding. You have to understand what is their exact problem. There is a certain method to analyze the root cause of the problem, and then only you can able to proceed with the solutions. Here, here you have understand that what is mean by empathy and also what is the meaning of sympathy also. So there are the little differences between the sympathy and empathy. So we have to concentrate only on the empathy to have a deeper connection with the problems. Here sympathy is the you feel something for somebody else. And again, here we are talking about cognitive and emotional empathy. Cognitive means it is a knowledgeable based on the thoughts. Emotional means you can feel on from the shoes. And next, there is a three key pillars are available. The key pillar, you know that it is a immersed with the problem. And next, you have to observe. And next one is the understanding. So these are the three key pillars for empathy. So if I am dealing with any kind of problem, you should have to think on these three pillars, then only you can able to proceed for the next level. And empathy map and definitions and examples. While talking about the empathy, so empathy means what is empathy? Collaborative tool that teams use to gain a deeper insights into the customer and visually captures the knowledge about the users. So whatever the thing, so you can see this image, it gives the thing. So what the user are saying, what the user are doing, what the user are feeling, and what the user are thinks. You can see there is a chart is involved in this image. So that's the thing we are talking about the empathy map. And also here there is a 4 aspects we are have to think on this. One is a say quadrant, think quadrant, and next one is a do's quadrant and feels quadrant. On say quadrant, it is a quiet or direct verbal feedback with the users. Think means you have to connect through the thoughts and belief and consideration. Does action the user takes, and feel the emotion user might be expressing. So these are the 4 quadrant you have to do with the empathy mapping with the while interacting with the users. Simple. If you're anybody is coming with a problem, for example, your friend is there, your friend is coming with some problem, so he knows that you are the close friend to him. So he has certain connections between you and him or her. Accordingly, what will happen? He can express all the things towards you. So there may be this much of conversation are involved between any conversations. So what she is saying on the verbal feedback and what is the posture of the people and the emotion of the people through the eyes and how they express from deeply from the bottom of the heart. So these are the things has to be mapped with the empathy map. So this is a simple way we can say that. So it is applicable for all kind of problems also. Our next one is creating empathy map. So how to create the empathy map? The first step is to conduct the user research. Next is say, do, think, and feel. So these are the different steps you have to carry out to do the performing of empathy map. What are the different statements you are observing through the users? For example, he is a user. From the user, what are the things you have understand? So these are the 4 quadrant. Based on the quadrant, you have to post these things on the walls. For example, you have a problem also. You can design the posters like this, and you can see the posters. You may get some idea how to address these things. So examples of empathy map, you can see healthcare says concern of using a new technology. So healthcare already the traditional one is using. So wearable devices are at present in the market, and some of the devices, for example, pacemakers are available, which is implanted in the heart. That technology is used only by those users. And similarly, if any other technology is coming, concern of using a technology is impact. It creates the impact. So that is called as a says, feel, anxiety and confusion. How to use it? Think, effectiveness of the telehealth. Still now there is a telehealth. The telecalling is available for giving any kind of medicine or a solution to certain problems. But still the people are not able to use the telehealth also. So telehealth or online apps to approach the doctors also. And thus asking family for the technical assistance. So these are the empathy map for the healthcare industry. While talking about the e-commerce, says, I cannot find the checkout button. So I am going to the Flipkart app. If I didn't find out the checkout button, that is my major concern. Next, frustration and excitement. Sometimes I feel frustrated with the list of components there visible on my e-commerce website. For example, I am Flipkart, I am searching for mobile phone. While searching for the mobile phone, they are displaying the washing machine images on the mobile phone. It creates the frustration for the users. Suppose if I am searching on the Amazon, they are showing the different range of mobile phones with the comparative prices in the single page itself. It creates excitement. It depends upon the e-commerce websites. And thinks, is my data is secure? Whatever the user login you are using, or example PhonePe you are using, or Google Pay you are using, whether these data is secure or not, and does reading the product reviews. So these are the 4 quadrants while talking about the empathy mapping. While talking about the educations, it says, feels, thinks, and does. Says, I can't focus at the home like you. Always say there is no time in the home. And again, feels, isolation and distraction. After going to the home, I am going to stick with the only mobile phone. So you feel isolation and distraction with your mobile phone. Thinks, concern about the grades. You are not going to take any actions, but you are concerning about the marks and grades. And does, multitasking during the online lecture. For example, I ask you to listen the video, or else during the lecture also we are taking as classes, you are doing a parallelly with some other task in the mobile phones or some other task in the laptops. So these are the things you have to be mapped correctly for any kind of users. Here, what are the key takeaways? An empathy map is a collaborative tool used to gain deeper insight into the users and the needs. And how to create the empathy map. There are the different steps are involved. And empathy maps can be employed in the multitude of industries. So now you may get some idea about the empathy map. Next, what is the main importance of empathy in IoT solutions? While empathy means it is a user experience in the IoT. I am the empathy means I am connecting with the users through the empathy to drive more into the problem. After that, I need to craft the user experience, crafting the expression user experience and the devices what I am designing that fits to the users lives genuinely enhanced day-to-day task. For example, we are wearing the smart watches. So the smart watches, according to the features, the cost is going to be changed. And for example, Apple iPhone smartwatch is there. Based upon the cost, the features are available more. For example, the normal watches are available. Based upon the cost, the features are available in the less quantity. So based upon these, the devices which need to be fit with the user needs. And again, it has to be integrated with the personal face. For example, I am wearing a watches are not a big complications. So whenever I feel the watch or whether the watch has a automated settings like you have a high rate of heartbeat, you have to cool down. So these kind of interactive experience has to be happen with the users. Next is the empathy and user experiences in IoT. Here there are the different steps we are going to be follow. The step one, ability to solve genuine problems and address real pain points. Step two, it is a tangible user needs. And step three, it is people not only want to use but feel a genuine connection with the devices. For example, you have a mobile phone. You can live without a food, but you can't live without a phone. So that is a genuine connection between the devices what you are designing. So it applicable to all the things with the human emotions. And here, what are the different challenges and benefits are available for the empathy map? While it is a complexity, it is a unnecessary, complicated and daunting for the users to navigate. Adaptation hurdles, for example, certain cases, the IoT devices are not usable in the certain location. Next one, we have to think on the security concern and loss of brand trust also. If you are lost the trust with a certain brand, you never go for that particular brand for the next time. So that is another problem which deals with the solution. For example, you are buying a Samsung phone. It is not giving the experience what you expected. So immediately you never buy the Samsung phone in your lifetime. So that is the one kind of challenges available in the market. Similarly, any users are coming towards you or designing a problem or you are defining a solution for the problem. If the expectation is not matches according to their need, they never approach you on the next time. So you have to think on the multiple angle to give the solution of the things. And enhanced user satisfaction, positive word of mouth. It means whenever the users are approaching you, you have to give only the positive way of expression. And next, increased adaptation and long-term engagement. If you are designing or you are proposing any solution through the prototype, it gives a lifetime. For example, I am going to purchase the LED bulb in the market. If the LED bulb is fuses within a month, means I never purchase the product again. If I am purchasing the Philips product from the market or any other certain brands from the market, if I am putting in my home of LED light, it gives the lifetime of 2 year or 3 year, and it comes with a minimum guarantee and warranty. So likewise, whatever the things you are proposing, it has to having a long-term engagement with the customer is a mandatory or user is a mandatory. Again, next overview of user research method. After getting inputs from users through empathy map. Empathy map means there is a 4 quadrant. Says, does, in this quadrant, how you are going to get the data. After that, you have to come with the research method. Because we need to get, after getting a data, you have to do certain research on the problem. Definition of user research. Understanding user behaviors, user needs, motivation through the observation, task analysis, and feedback methodologies. So these are the definitions available for the user research. So you can take whatever you need. Understanding the behavior of the user, what is the need of the user, and what is your motivation through the observation from the users, and how analyzing the task, what are the different features you can able to incorporate it into the solution. And next one is the feedback methodologies. Feedback methodologies. Here there is a 2 type of researchers are available. One is a user research, another one is a market research. User research means if I am going to propose a solution to the users, I need to understand the market research also. One solution can be available, maybe someone will expect the same solution for the same problem also. So here user research only understand the user behavior, needs and pain points. How can we improve the user experience? If I am dealing with the particular users to defining our proposing solution, I need to understand only the user behavior only. But in the case of market means it is a target is demographics. If for example, here I am going to launch the Sony device or Sony TV. So Sony TV means it is not available not only in the Maharashtra, it is available in all the states. So I need to attract all the users in all the different states of India. So this is called as a target demographic. And here I need to understand the market trend also. For example, car company in Pune, they will offer you 25,000 below price compared to the nearby state of Madhya Pradesh. So based upon the demographical area, the launch price is also going to be vary. The GST price is also going to be vary based upon the capital price. So I need to do certain analysis on the market with respect to the demographics and the service, how to reach the customer effectively, and how I can reach my product through all the corners of the places. So these are the 2 researchers are available. One is user research. You directly interact with the users and proposing a solution. Here market research means it is a universal problem, universal solution. You have to give the proposing the solution to the major groups available in the demographical area. So these are the 2 types of researchers available in the empathy map. Here, what is the categories of user research? One is called as a qualitative, another one is called as a quantitative, next one is called as a attitudinal, and another one is called as a behavioral. Qualitative means it is based upon the description and the characteristics. For example, in your family you have 5 members in your home. So based upon the opinion, you are going to choose your highest study. That is called qualitative. Quantitative means any success number of people, they have chosen the course, they have succeeded in the life. For example, if your parent, father, grandfather, uncles, so they are giving certain advices to you. It is called as a qualitative. It is a description based advice. For example, they are asking to choose the courses of certain engineering courses. Now they are giving the raw data of these sons, these daughters got placed, and they have getting a packages of 8 lakhs per annum, and she also getting a 8 lakhs per annum, he also getting a 10 lakhs per annum. So when they are giving with a certain numbers, now you can see here they are giving a certain solutions to choose the courses, that is called as a qualitative. Quantitative means they are providing the raw proof. They are getting, after studying these courses, they are getting this much of packages. These are in the numbers. This number is called as a quantitative. Next, attitudinal means it understanding the attitudes, beliefs, and perceptions. So you have to get the proper understanding through the perception from your elders. And behaviorals. Behaviorals means how you are going to react with the particular situations. So that is called as observe users' action and behaviors while having an interaction with you. And selecting the right method. How to select the right method? Here there is a different stages are there. The step one is the stage and the design process. Early stage, open-ended qualitative methods. And later stages, you have to deal with the quantitative methods. Next stage is the timeline. Here, quick method, long-term ethnographic studies. It is a group of studies. And third one is the budget and resources. How much budget I have and what are the resources I have. So that has to be calculated effectively. And depth and breadth. Depth and breadth means broad and overview and deep view. If I am proposing one solution, these I have to look on depth of the problem, how I am giving the solution, and again you have to check in the broader view. So broader view means, so this solution is comfortable for addressing any other problem, or it is comfortable for any other things. So you have to have a broader view of the knowledge. Common tools and technologies. Here we can use the SurveyMonkey. Survey tools like Google Forms or SurveyMonkey Forms, and usability testing, analytical tools are available. So these are the basic tools you can able to get the surveys from the unknown users. And common tools and technologies, we can deal with the virtual reality, augmented reality, AI-powered analytics, and real-time collaboration. So these are the common tools. After getting the data, we can use these tools to analyze the data to predict the values. Here, from the user research, what are the key ways? So user research is a foundational component of the design process, and it divides into qualitative, quantitative, attitudinal, and the behavioral research. And you have to select the right method, either qualitative or either quantitative. So you have to select the right method for doing the things. And what are the different tools are available to do the data analysis or predictions. That you have to take care of it. And next one is the purpose of interviews. So previously we are working on the data. Now I am directly interact with the users based on the interviews to conduct the research. So it offers deep insight to the user feeling, experience, and perspectives, and draw out the narratives and personal stories and specific experience, and exploration and the opportunities for the users, and rich context and provide information on what they would think. So while interacting with the users through the interviews, so these are the specific advantages we can able to earn. And observational research, in the closer look you can give contextual inquiry, combining interviews and observation, shadowing. Researchers follows users closely to observe the behavior and actions. For example, you are giving a certain solution, they may be satisfied or may not be satisfied. For example, you are saying anything to your father. For example, you are saying lying to your father. You always observe closely and shadowing method whether your father believed your lies or not. So that is a kind of strategy the designers can follow with the users. And ethnographic studies, researchers immerse themselves into the user environment for the extended period of time. So this is a kind of study they can able to immersed in deeply into the user environment for an extended period of time to propose the solution. Best practices: recording and note taking. Whatever the things you're interacting with the users, either you have to use the audio recorder because no detail has to be missed out, or video recording has to be take place, and allows the researchers to focus on the conversation. Note taking means notebook or digital devices, because you have to note down all the key points, quotes, and observation which is from the users, and the moment of particular interest from the users. So these are the best practice while doing any kind of research. Either you have to do the recording option, or either you have to do the note taking options. To note down all the key points. So from the user research, the use of interviews in the user research, there is an open-ended question and closed-ended question, and there are the different steps are there: contextual inquiry, shadowing method, ethnographic studies, and best practices like note-taking or recording. These are the things available with the user research. And next, you may get the information through the surveys as well as the question also. For getting a surveys, there is a ideal ways you can use a Google Forms, gathering many responses. For example, some of the survey forms is globally circulated through the Google Forms. So through the Google Forms, we can able to fill the survey forms. Or for example, in Amazon also they have a surveys. If you're going with any kind of product, there is a survey form is available. So the people, those who are filling a survey, you are unknown to the particular industry, but they are getting a survey from all the places. For example, I am using a Microsoft Windows, you are using a Microsoft Windows, or else Microsoft Word you are using. So every time, sometimes they will get some survey in the through the internet. So through the survey, they will check the quality, as well as some browsers also getting a survey from the users. So likewise, the surveys, it creates impact on the product experience. And crafting effective services. So while crafting effective services, no give the form in the fill in the blanks, because the users get bored. So you have to give the multiple choice question or a Likert scale. Likert scale means it will say that the smiley options are stars, 2 star, 3 star, 5 star, the customer ratings, and open-ended questions. So any other suggestions? How the product is to be. So likewise, you have to craft the effective surveys to get the things from the users. Common pitfalls. The questions, whatever the questions you are creating, it should be neutral. It should not bias the users. For example, it does not going to trigger the users also. The questions always should be in the neutral only. And leading question. Leading question means avoid pricing that suggests the desired answers. It means that you are giving a certain question. What you like, tea or coffee? Maybe the user may like the milk also. But in the question, you can say avoid the phrasing means you are giving a two options only, the tea or coffee. It means that the user has to be triggered with the biasing answer to say only tea or coffee. So this is the things you have to be avoided in the survey type of questions. And survey fatigue. So lengthy surveys. Always surveys stands with 5 questions or 3 questions. Don't give 15 questions or 20 questions in the survey. No one is going to fill your survey forms. It's being seeing the lengthy list of your survey forms. Seeing the lengthy list of the survey forms. 2 to 15. And distributing and collecting the responses, we can using online tools like SurveyMonkey, Google Form. Actually, most of the cases they are using a Survey Monkey. Now, in our cases, we are using a Google form, and Typeform is available. Through that, we are able to get the circulate the questionnaires to the users to get the feedbacks. After getting a survey questionnaires, we are using a statistical tools. Through the statistical tools, we are going to analyze the information on the data what we have received. So some kind of data analysis will be takes place based on the questionnaires and the information received from the users. Here key takeaways. How the surveys helps to get the data from the larger group. How to design, distribute and analysis. So designing the question, distributing the question, how to analyze the question. So designing the question, so there is you have to avoid the common pitfalls you have to avoid it. And distribution, you have to use a certain online tools to distribute. To analysis, some statistical and data analysis tool has to be used. And next thing is analyzing the user research findings. Everything is completed. We gathered all the data from the different groups. Now I need to analyze the data. So how to analyze the data? There are the different tools are available. So we can say NVivo and Atlas Star TI for the qualitative data analysis. And now the simplest way is Excel and the Google spreadsheet is available to perform the simple analysis. Here affinity mapping, we can use a Trello and Miro. This type of tool can be used to do certain type of topographical analysis. And analyzing techniques, it deals with the two methods. One is a thematic analysis, second one is a affinity mapping analysis. Thematic analysis means it is a qualitative method where your identity analysis report patterns of the themes. Here affinity means data points are written on the cards, the group based natural relationships. For example, thematic means I am getting a data only in the Kopraga region, I am doing the certain analysis. But here affinity mapping means I am getting a data in the different talukas of Maharashtra. I am doing the analysis. That is called as affinity mapping. So thematic analysis means based upon the region, I am changing the questionnaires. But here, based upon the different talukas, I am setting a single questionnaire. I am categorize all the data points on the cards. So that is called as the affinity mapping. And here I can able to easily identify the different talukas. Which taluka come on the region 1, which taluka come on the region 2, which taluka come on the region 3, which taluka which are coming on the taluka 4. So I can able to divide into 4 quadrant in the affinity mapping method. So here different talukas takes place, different districts takes place. So entire region of Maharashtra will take place, and I categorize all the states, all the talukas and the districts in the Maharashtra through the affinity mapping method. It is just like a data pointing collecting methods. And here from this I can able to draw the conclusion and insights, categorize, analyze, look for the pattern or trends, use research data to validate or refute assumptions. So these are the things I can able to do with the research data analysis. And what is the recommendation? Goal is to inform the design process. Research should be interactive, and design, test and interact. So these are the things are the recommendation I have to proceed further for developing the actionable problem statement. Now you can able to easily understand key takeaway, how to organize and analyze the data, how to draw a conclusion on insights, how to design, test and iterate on the different mapping. So technological and affinity mapping. technological and affinity mapping. So not technological, it is a thematic. Now you can see this is a kind of activity. This is an empathy map. So these are the questionnaires, these are the statements from the users. So here there is a certain statement available. It has to be matched with these statements. So you can see on the right, various user interact gathered from the research on IoT smart refrigerator designed for the family home setting. Now you have to drag and drop the insights. So these are the insights. It has to fit with the statement of the users. Now there is the 6 statements are there. Say and do, paints, hear, gains, think and feel, and see. Now you have to identify for say and do, what is the insight is going to be say. So here I can say, I am mapping on the different colors. So I wish I could suggest recipe based on what insight. It means I can say this is a say and do. When you are going to be talk about pains, pain means sometimes the kids open the fridge out of the boredom. Next, hear. What you hear? So what you hear? So I heard my neighbor talk on the fridge that can play music also. So based upon the user words, you have to map the insight to that column. Next, what you gain? So the gain, which I based on the user statement, the gain is I would it could automatically reorder the some of the stable foods. So the fridge can order themselves what are the foods are not available inside the fridge. So that is called as a gain. Now you have to talk on think and feel. Think and feel means, so here you can see the statement I feel. So this is going to be linked with the this box. And the next C. C means it is a visualize. So the remaining statement which is available over is the visualize. It should visually alert me something expiring. For example, any product packages you are placing inside the refrigerator gives the intimation to you, it is going to be expire based upon the expiry date you are fed with the refrigerator. So this is some kind of activity with empathy map, and how, based upon the user statement, the insight also going to be varied. Okay, so now you can able to understand this certain things here. Now once again I am saying, say and do. Say and do means we can say this is a say and do statement. And again, what is a pain? This is number one. This is number one. What is a pain? Pain means, so kids are opening the fridge door. So it creates a pain. So this is it related to the pain statement. And again, here, what you hear from the others, the feedback from the others. So here, I have heard my neighbor talk about my refrigerator. It can play the music. So this is the statement belongs to the here. Next, gain. Gain means, what is a gain? It is a say that the fridge can order automatically whenever the particular quantity is not available in my fridge. So that is the gain. It is the advantages of my fridge. Next, what you feel, think and feel. This is a fifth statement. Now I am going to say that I feel easily whatever the quantities available or not available inside my fridge. So that is called as a think and feel. Next C, sixth. Now you can see it should visualize, alert me if something is about to expire. So based upon the statement, the insight is going to be mapped with the empathy map. So this is called as a perfect example for the empathy mapping. So based upon the keywords I am getting from the users, the designers has to map all the things with the particular mapping. So here empathy and user research and IoT solution. So the designer have to observe clearly on the user, and you have to get the affinity mapping method. Affinity mapping means it is the data points, highlighting patterns, uncovering themes in the user research, and the role of empathy maps, how the empathy map will links say, do, think, and feel, and personas and scenarios in research. So how to perform the research to get the data. That user needs, challenges, and contests. So these are the few things we have seen in the video related to the empathy and user research for all kind of solution. Here we have seen some example related to smart refrigerator. Okay, so I hope you may get some knowledge on empathy and user researches in design thinking process. Thank you.